Hey guys, welcome back. It's Marky with Hashfield. It's been a while. I've been busy with family. My sister had a baby shower, so last week I was gone, and the week prior she's been busy with work. Also still getting back from this crazy cold that I got. Um, I went running out in the rain, and clearly that wasn't a smart thing to do. But we're back. Hopefully next week. Sure, I don't have anything else on my plate coming up soon. So next week we'll get back to doing the weekly videos. But yeah, let's get back into it. These past 2 weeks, it's been busy. It's been busy in the Radix community. We've had a lot of different media content, a lot of coverage, mostly on the GoodFi organization that the Radix team created with a lot of different organizations as well. So we'll touch into that. I won't really review the articles. I'll just kind of go name off a couple of few ones. There's been a lot. Also, this week there's 2 videos that I want to play for you guys. There was an interview with Pierce on the Burb Nest, and also with Scott Melker. Yeah, Scott Melker, Wall Street of Everything. So that's been happening. Also, a lot of things happening with Cassandra this week. There's a short video I'll also play on that. But yeah, let's jump right into it. Let's not make this video long. The first video I want to share with you guys, just a little clip from the interview with the Burb Nest, and then the second one, it's going to be with Scott. Let's go ahead and actually, you know what? Let's do the Scott Melker first. Let me share my screen real quick. Hopefully the audio work. Let's go ahead and share the screen real quick. See, share sound. Okay. All right, so here's just a little glimpse. I usually listen to my videos and podcasts on 2x the speed. It's just something I've been doing for a while. So for me, it sounds regular. But yeah, just a little glimpse. Make sure you guys, if you haven't, go back and watch these watch the videos. There's a lot of gems, and I just thought this little clip was pretty important. Something that shows the advantage of Radix. Yeah, let's jump right into it.
So listen, man, there's so much to talk about with DeFi, obviously. But I think just to get into the core of it, in this space, I think everyone's noticed in crypto in general that things happen really, really fast, and that usually nobody can scale to keep up, right? So like DeFi, in my opinion, like DeFi exploded way too hard last summer before it was really ready, and we had all these rug pulls and hacks and all this crazy stuff. So what are still the biggest limitations that exist specifically in the DeFi space right now?
Oh man, it's all the same stuff. We haven't learned. I mean, just look what's happening on Binance Smart Chain at the moment. Like I think that the Binance Smart Chain example and what's been happening with Ethereum, especially like how much it costs to send anything, is fundamentally, we know this is a problem. We felt this problem in the industry since CryptoKitties broke Ethereum. Like that problem of not being able to get stuff through, and people are like, well, if we can get a bit more transactions in Ethereum, it'd be fine. They forget the fact that it's a bidding market, and the reason that the transactions are $15,000 are also like cutting out people who want to transact for like a few dollars. So if you bring the capabilities, so the transactions go down, the cost of it goes down. So
hold on, sorry, I didn't want to stop this. So what he just said, and the reason why I play this, because earlier this week I actually tried selling some Aave I tried selling some Aave just to see, what's going on with the market, seeing how much the transaction fees were. I think I tried selling about, maybe 5 Aave, and the transaction fees were ridiculous. Like it was so bad. And there was another project I was trying to I've been looking at, been researching, and the tokens, it's felt low. So I was trying to purchase some of that. So I was like, let's see what the transaction fees looking like. And I took a screenshot. I deleted the screenshot, but I took it so I can share with you guys. I kid you not. I think it was, if not 1,000 plus, it was damn near close to 1,000 in transaction fees. Again, it was a transaction fee. And I'm sure everybody's seen the little clip with Vitalik talking about how Bitcoin transaction fees, it doesn't make sense paying 5 cents a transaction fee on Bitcoin, but we're paying 1,000. We're paying way too much in transaction fees on Ethereum. So that's also part of the reason I chose this clip. But let me get back into it.
suddenly you're going to get way more transactions. And so this is what's happening on BSC. They're like, oh yeah, it's going to be scalable, and suddenly you've got congestion problems again because it's now just the next level of like demand. There's just so much demand like being built up. And then the other side of this is, man, we suck at getting hacked. Like so, Masari did a research. It's $285 million have been lost in hacks since sort of DeFi started to grow. And that doesn't even count rug pulls and like the really shady stuff that happens. But like fundamentally, everything's based on Solidity, right? Everything's based on Solidity, which was a programming language based off JavaScript, which if anyone is a programmer will be like, JavaScript is not a good idea for financial products.
Right.
And so this programming language and environment that was created by Ethereum to be like a general purpose environment for programming stuff that wasn't really meant to be 100% financial. It was like finance was a little bit of it and everything else that's cool as well. Has ended up being, this is where crypto Wall Street is, and it's built on foundations of sand that mean that people keep getting screwed. And like we interview DeFi developers who are telling us they spend 90% of their time securing their code and 10% building functionality. And it's like, if you could flip those two numbers, like what would happen with DeFi then? Like fundamentally, if we could just give people better tools, what would happen with DeFi then? So I think those are the big ones. And then there's like, the last thing is this idea that open source, right? Open source, DeFi is based on open source, and Aave would not be possible without ERC20 and a bunch of other like amazing developers who created this code and gave it away. But the community very rarely gets any stakes, any part of these platforms that are built on this open source code.
Right.
And like we've got these new systems of financial economic systems that can incentivize people to build stuff. Like why aren't we giving more back to the community if they've created something great that a big DeFi project has made as even part of their application? Like why aren't we incentivizing more people to go and build like great tools as well? And like what would happen then? So for us, those are the three things. Like it needs to be easier to build without screwing up. It needs to fundamentally reward people for contributing to the community in meaningful ways in code. And it needs to get out of the way of people being able to build great apps because of the congestion.
So it sounds like a building block.
Yeah, so it was just that clip I want to share with you guys. And he touched a little bit about the component. Obviously, we've talked about that quite a bit, where the component is going to be a huge advantage, a huge advantage for for just cryptocurrency, for crypto as a whole, right? You get to build a piece of code. You don't need to worry about building the business aspect of a technology. Just build a code, push it through the marketplace, and if it's used, you get paid. So I just want to share that. And obviously that the ridiculous transaction, obviously I didn't sell Aave due to the transaction fees, but yeah. And then, but yeah, definitely check out this interview. Great interview. I love their interaction between the two. I love the energy, Pierce for something. This man has ridiculous energy and he's always smiling. As you guys can tell, I stayed monotone throughout my entire video. I wish I can project myself through the video as Pierce does. It's, same with Scott as well. So, but yeah, let's jump right into the next video that I wanted to share with you guys. And this with, Bird Nest, right? And for the most part, the podcast is about improving DeFi. And let's jump into this one real quick. Let's see.
Yeah, it's more about the quality than the quantity there.
Yes.
Yeah, and for a developer, not only the incentive that matters, maybe also like what type of language you're coding in. Could you tell us a little bit more, what attracts developers from the ecosystem point of view or from the language point of view?
It's a really interesting question, and it's something that we spent sort of quite a lot of time looking at. Like, developers don't try new languages because they're paid to generally, unless it's at a company and it's part of their core work, right? So like if I'm at a company and I'm building, and my boss comes along and says, hey, build this in C, I'll go build it in C. But fundamentally, there's a big community of developers who just like playing around with stuff. Like they're like, oh, Rust looks really cool. I want to go play with Rust. Haskell looks interesting. I want to go play with Haskell. And at the start of Ethereum, the thing that like drove the developer community more than anything, and people forget this, is that it was fun. Like it wasn't really serious. There wasn't huge amounts of money sort of flying around. There was this promise of what could be. And like I see comments, like I've seen developers literally say like Ethereum isn't fun anymore. And like this is a really important core point of what makes developers want to try new things. And Solidity isn't fun. Like Solidity is a really badly designed language for finance. It's a really badly designed language for security. And that's kind of because they kind of went, well, we want to make it like JavaScript because JavaScript's the most popular language. But no sane person would build a banking application in JavaScript. No sane person would build anything. Right. And this is an intrinsic problem. But like that has meant that there's this massive ecosystem that is built on this really poor foundation. And that's why you get the 90-10, 90% of their time securing, 10% building functionality, $285 million in hacks. So with Radix, we took two approaches with the language. The first was at a very low level, and this is sort of like the geeky bit of it. At a very low level, at the execution level, how do we make this as efficient as possible so that scalability is preserved? And what a lot of people don't realize is that the EVM, the Ethereum virtual machine, is the biggest bottleneck in Ethereum. It's the biggest bottleneck in DeFi period, actually. So you have these smart contract platforms saying, or new ones like Avalanche or Hashgraph or Polkadot saying, oh, we can do 10,000 transactions per second or whatever. But if you then make that into smart contract operations, suddenly it drops massively low. You suddenly get down to the hundreds or even tens of transactions per second because the Ethereum virtual machine is just so bad at executing this kind of scalable state in a parallelizable way. And so it's actually the biggest problem. And then the next level up, and so how Radix solved that is we went, right, instead of having one big virtual machine, we'll describe smart contracts as little finite state machines. And once you have them as little finite state machines, this is how you build things like quant trading algorithms, or how you build things like, the NASDAQ order matching system. You build it as a finite state machine, specific purpose finite state machine, and suddenly like just 10x, 100x more scalable, right? And then from the other side of it, from a language point of view, It's just been a process of going and talking with DeFi developers and sitting down with them going, how would you like the syntax to be? Like, how do you architect this? If you were going to build Aave, if you're going to build Uniswap, how do you architect this? And then let's make the language as close to the way in which you architect and describe these things as possible. So things like having, assets as primary resources and having the idea of like, you can't destroy assets, you can only move them. All these kind of like primitives that are really important. You can suddenly build a language that is way better. And then if you start to take the good ideas from things like Rust and things like Haskell and stuff like that, where Rust is a language where you trust the compiler. The compiler comes up and goes, no, you can't do that. And you're like, okay, cool, I can't do that. And so you can even start thinking about how to sort of give people Rails and compile time to stop things like, I don't know, reentrancy and stuff like that, which again just lowers barriers to entry, means that you move faster, means that you can build better applications at the end of it.
Wow, that's good. Yeah, but it still feels like.
Oh yeah, so that was another clip from this from CryptoBird Nest interview that they had that I just want to share with you guys, and that point that he mentioned about Ethereum VM being the bottleneck. I honestly, not gonna lie, I didn't think about it that way. I never seen it that way, but the way he explained that made perfect sense. And that is the reason why, obviously, one advantages it would be for Radix. And even Notorious, they talked about that a little bit as well in their AMA that they had. And we'll go through that AMA as well in review. But yeah, if you haven't seen this interview, definitely check it out. Piercy's always dropping a lot of gems in every single video. Obviously, I can't play the whole clip. It's an hour long, but I just want to share that with you guys, and obviously go show some love to the Bird Nest. But yeah, let's go ahead and move to the next thing here. So also this week, we seen that Crypto Ranks went ahead and ranked Radix as well. What's going on with the project, gave us a brief summary. There's nothing written, but we can take a look at it right here. So sorry. All right. So on the fundamental ranks, it's at 83, developer rank 95, social rank is 91, coin rank, so the average would be 90. And coin rank, I think, I never heard of them before. That's, but after I seen the Radix rank, I went through and I seen all the different ranks they've been doing. They have a lot of followers. It's definitely interesting stuff. They have a website as well. Went through, looked at everything. But what I wanted to show you guys on this site, on this little review that they did with Radix, is under the developer activity. So as you can see, so right here, this is us, right? This is us compared to the market, right? To other projects that they've reviewed. So in the past 4 weeks, 421 commits, and the average from other projects are 61. Again, 421 commits and compared to 61. That is insane. What is that? That's about a 6x. So the team is working 6 times more compared to all the other projects. So that says a lot. And then in the past 12 weeks, was that 3 months, 1,072 commits compared to 230. And then in the past year, 5,771 commits compared to 1,457. And this is not including what's happening also on the research side, Cassandra with Dan. This is just working with Radix and what the core developers are doing right now on the actual chain that's being built. So that is insane. That is insane. So this was definitely motivating to see. If you're in another project that's not Radix, and if they're not pushing out commits, like, and we're talking about real commits, right? Like real commits, actual changes that's being done, not just comments and that counts. No, real commits, things are being built on the project. If your favorite project, if it's not doing that, come over to Radix, because at Radix we build. At Radix, things actually happen. So, but yeah, let's jump right into the next one. Also, I actually have fun listening to these. So I usually listen to these podcasts, new DeFi download podcasts, when I'm taking my daily walks. And again, I go through them really quick, on twice the speed. But yeah, so we got Terra, and then we have Bright ID, right? For me, I really had no idea what Terra was. I knew the project, but I didn't really know the project, you know what I'm saying? So after listening, I definitely I read through read about the project, seen their website, did a little slight review. But for those of you who don't know much about Terra, definitely check it out. And right here, pretty much they just had a conversation. They delve into the backgrounds, the influence of Terra platform, the concept, the growth, as well as the platform and vision, decentralized alternatives to traditional financial system. So it's a layer 1 protocol that also has a stable coin, right? And they've also built different services that's going to make it easier for new developers or anybody that wants to build on their platform. Just makes it much easier for them to develop, right? Because they already has the tool. They built the tool for their community. And then the next one was Bright ID, right? So Bright ID. Think about it. It's going to be like your social or digital identification, right? To access different things, right? So they go into the importance of obviously holding your identification, and the fact that pretty much it's only the major corporations that control our identity and our access to things on the internet, right? Privacy, pretty much. So it goes into that. It was definitely an interesting interesting podcast to listen to. And I do follow a few protocols who are within the same space in regards to our identification, our social, our social print, pretty much. So this was definitely cool. You guys take a listen, and I'm sorry that I'm going fast. I got some things to do. Plus, it's been a lot. In the past 2 weeks, a lot has been happening with Radix. So trying to cover them as fast as possible. I don't want to make this video too long, but yeah. So as of now, the only project we know for sure that's confirmed. I can't even speak today. That's being built on Radix as of now, parallel to the beta net and moving forward, is Notorious DLT, right? I'm sure there's a lot more projects that are being built, but this is the one we know for sure in the public right now. That's announced that we know that's currently being built, and then we know Stakehound. They're building a product on there as well. But yeah, let's go back. So in this AMA, I was not active in the AMA when they were having it live, but I knew it was happening. I just had some other things I was doing, but I had a few questions on here that I just wanted to go over with you guys. And I think they did a great job explaining. And the first one was that they asked first question I want to review with you guys is, can you go into what Notorious is all about in detail? What problems inspire you to create the Notorious? So before I do that, this project is found by Andrew and Brandon, right? And I think they've been building together for 4 to 6 years. But yeah, let's get back to our question. Definitely check this out. And they're also running a beta net validator node as well. And I know they're looking to push a pull request so that way their infrastructure could be so it could start running on top of Radix and with the beta net. So once that happens, all the validator nodes, we're going to have to go ahead and update our source code so we can be, so that way the Notorious, their protocol will be running as well with the testing. But yeah, let's get back into it. Can you go into what Notorious is all about and what problem inspired you to create? So they said, sure. After years working the space, we were tired of telling clients they had to downsize all their ambitions for their dApps because the technology was simply not scalable enough, or the functionality they wanted was limited to certain tools or platforms. Because Radix solved the scalability part, obviously, we felt we should bring the rest of the developer ecosystem along. Combining the logical clocks from Template with the transaction ordering and lazy execution enable us to distribute and parallelize the functionality of any virtual machines over a sharded distributed system. What this means is we have made the logic behind virtual machine into a protocol that operates at layer 1 as an independent execution environment. It's like having an alternate dimension ledger that coexists in the same consensus space. So, and so they say that to say pretty much the Ethereum EVM, that can be imported and live on top of Radix, right? With their protocol. Developers can experience or develop within the environment of Ethereum, and that can live as a not really a layer 2. And I'm getting ahead of myself because they pretty much answer that in this here. They're not a layer 2. They're saying it's a layer 1.5, but it's gonna work. What? Okay, sorry, lost my train of thought. But yeah, it's gonna work side to side, but it's gonna be a protocol that exists on the infrastructure of Radix. So that's and then I had another one. Let's see. And then speaking of that pull request right here. Some, they asked about the progress, and so there's a slight delay in their release. But I think they're moving. I think they're on track, but I guess there's a slight delay. But in regards to the question on their progress, right? So they're in the process of submitting a PR to the Radix codebase, which will lay the groundwork for Notorious functionality. Once the PR is accepted, the Radix validator will have to update their nodes, as I mentioned earlier. So they'll keep us updated with that information. And then, okay, so I had a few more. So if in regards to the relationship between Notorious EVM and the Radix engine, it is possible for any Notorious VM to be made aware of any Radix engine action in the same transaction. In fact, Notorious is implemented in the Radix through the Radix engine, right? So, however, this is a one-way relationship. The Notorious VM does not feed back into Radix. So everything that happens on, and I'm getting ahead of myself. Let's go. I'll just read it, and because they pretty much answered what I was going to say in another question here. Let's go ahead. Will the Notorious dApps be running as a layer 2 network on top of the Radix network, thus requiring the XRD system tokens for transaction? If not, how does Radix network benefits from Notorious dApps? Right, that's like the main thing I wanted to know as well, the relationship and the connection between the two. How are those going to correlate, and what are the benefits for both projects, right? But that's the main thing. And their answer is that all of the transactions that are processed by Notorious dApps must first be processed by the Radix ledger, and thus users have to pay XRD fees, right? Pretty much that explains it. So anything that happens on their network, it has to be processed through the ledger, because that's how they're leveraging the Radix ecosystem, right? The Radix protocol, that's how they're gaining the benefit from Radix, right? And vice versa. That's how the Radix protocol also gain its, how can I say, it's, I hate to talk about, money or anything, but that's what makes it valuable, right? I guess that's what makes it valuable, and it's going to increase in the asset, because obviously transaction fees on there are going to run through the protocol, just like how it is right now with Ethereum. Anything that happens through different dApps, they have to use and pay gas fees, etc., right? So they think of it as a layer 1.5, and this is the important part. So within the Notorious VM, there may be any kind of rules. There may be any kind of rules regarding whether the transaction is valid for further processing of application state once it's accepted by Radix, right? So it has to be accepted by Radix first. A simple VM may process any transaction that has been recorded to the ledger, while a more complicated one may only process transactions that were sent by an account that holds a stake in another VM. The community may decide to support a VM implementation that requires XRD to be burned or staked to process a transaction. This flexibility gives developers broad control over their application while keeping them all on the same fully composable network. So that's but yeah, that pretty much kind of answers the relationships between the two network, right? And there was one more. Yep. So though, in regards to that PR, let's see, there was one more. Okay, so this right here kind of validate, if not that we need any additional validation, but it's, we're hearing it from a third party, right? Not just from the Radix team, even though they showed us in real time a year ago what the project can do. So the question is, will Notorious VM be limited by the throughput of the Radix network, like 50 TPS, right? For the Olympic mainnet, right? It's 50 TPS, but that's more than majority of the projects right now. that are in the top 10. So, but let's get into the answer. Notorious operates exactly as fast as consensus. For the public mainnet launch, it will be limited to the full speed of the network, of that network. Rollups, layer 2, and other scalability options can artificially increase the volume of the transaction. But for the peers like us, the core network rate is the real metric, right? So for our private blockchain as a service offering, we also have a streamlined version of the Cerberus design for a consortium network that is able to reach 24,000 TPS. So their network's going to go up to 24,000. That's a lot. Again, that's, that's more than a lot of pretty much all the projects right now that's running. So let's get back. So with our experience operating Cerberus privately, so they've had intimate interaction with this network. They've been, testing it for a while now, right? We have been able to glimpse its capabilities. We are fully confident that the Radix public implementation of Cerberus will scale rapidly beyond the scope of what other chains even dream of, while still maintain the full atomic composability, right? So they've pretty much confirmed exactly what Radix have been preaching and the benefits of Radix, right? It's unlimited scalability while maintaining full atomic composability, right? And Olympia may be only 50 TPS at launch, but we know it would never need to worry about scaling, right? Everybody's worried about what's happening in Ethereum with 15 right now. I think it's at 15, whatever the case might be, but we're out the gate, we're at 50, right? Out the gate, we're at 50. So that's enough, especially for what Olympia is allowed to do, right? What developers are allowed to do on Olympia. So I think that's a lot. And I think that was the main thing. But yeah, everybody go back, check this out. Definitely check it out. It's a great article. Damn, I can feel myself speaking through my nose again. All right, let's go ahead to the next thing. Also, within this past 2 weeks, as you can see, the date, May 7th, we got introduced to 2 more members of the team, Adam and Farah. Let's go. Adam Simmons, he's the head of strategy over there, with Radix DLT. And okay, so he started in the video space. Let's see, started in crypto in 2016. Awesome. Main thing I want to know what he does. I mean, obviously we know by the title, but as he goes in his role at Radix DLT as head of strategy day to day, much of my time is spent managing the marketing community teams to ensure Radix is continuing to hit our growth objective both per quarter and per year. In practice, this means making sure that both teams are working holistically to increase awareness of Radix, that our data and analytics are going in the right direction, up, and we are allocating resources to places that have the most impact on our KPIs, right? So alongside leading the team, I am also responsible for many of the non-development mid and long-term project goals. Most recently, this was running the refinement of the Radix messaging and rolling out the new Radix website. And prior to that, a lot of my focus was ensuring that the EXRD token sale and launch was successful, which it was. The exciting part of this is that I often need to be in sync with the other team project leads, as well as a range of partners, agencies, and of course, the Radix community efforts, right? Oh my goodness. Oh my goodness. And then Ms. Farah Affler, she's the talent acquisition lead. So all the new hirees and pretty much all the hirees is, thanks to her. She's also ran her own recruitment agency before. So she, she has a great idea on what she's doing. Great idea. So again, all their hires, all the employees at Radix, highly skilled, highly motivated, self-driven, self-starter individuals. So I love it. And let's read a little bit about Ms. Farah. So I have been brought into Radix as a talent acquisition lead to help grow both technical and operation teams and actively attract the best talent and actively attract the best talent the market has to offer. My day consists of having numerous calls with people who may be aware of the business, educating them on the best of my abilities about our core mission, and generally is assessing their suitability for the role in question. All right. All right. I'm also looking at how we can continue to empower our current staff and build on the current great working culture over the coming weeks. My main goal is to get to know the full team more and understand what we are looking to achieve in our careers at Radix and implement a plan to enable them both. All right. So that's Miss Farah and Adam. We say thank you so much for joining the team, and we just wish you guys the best. And hopefully, you're in here for the long run, and we'll see you guys in the years to come. So, and as I mentioned earlier, that it's been a lot of coverage, a lot of coverage on Radix, and most of that is for the GoodFi alliance that they create with a lot of other DeFi projects. And so this was this week. No, last week they announced no, that was this week. I am tripping. This week they went ahead and announced the board members, right? And you can see they got guys from Chainlink, they have Zero Cap, they have Figments, Mstable, Fuse, Sushi Swap, IDX, and then DApp, Stakehound, Staker.io, Maple Finance, Net Zero, Capital, Block Swap Network, T3RN, Kyra Network, Akala Network, and others, right? So on top of that, they also have a new website. Let me show the site real quick. Looks very, very clean. Definitely check this out if you haven't. And if you click down, you see a couple of members. I'm sure there's more, and they're continuing to add more. So this is a very, very clean website. Let's click on the home real quick. See, very clean, straight to the point. I love it. I've noticed that a lot of new crypto sites are having like this cartoonish design to it. I like it. It looks really nice. Very, very easy to read. Awesome. Yeah, they've been busy. So new GoodFi website, new Radix website, and I know there's another thing. All right, and then also this week we had the 2 weeks Reddit report that came out. A lot of them we've touched on it, and just to let's take a look at the media. And speaking about the GoodFi, we've seen Radix also obviously in Yahoo Finance, Bitcoinist, investing.com, News BTC, Block Telegraph, Daily Chain, BTC Manager. There's a lot. I feel like, what is it? Benzinga. I know I had a list of the different not interviews, but the different articles that's been written about the GoodFi and Radix within the past 2 weeks. I just can't find it. I wish. Let me see. I had it. It's all right. But I think this pretty much kind of covers everything, right? And then, but the main thing I want to take a look at on this report is the development, right? The development is the main thing. It's crucial. This is what's pushing the project to where we want, right? Obviously, mainnet come in June. So in the last 2 weeks following the beta net launch have been an absolute whirlwind for the dev team. It's been amazing seeing the gates thrown open to the Radix community and seeing all the exploring, and to see you all exploring all the nooks and crannies of every layer of Radix. It may not be obvious from the outside, but we are swimming in invaluable data and feedbacks from node runners, RPCs, API consumers, and users for the wallet and explorers. Most important, testing is less about testing events than it's about constant observation of the real live unpredictable network. And that's precisely what we've been getting. Thank you all to who have played with the BetaNet software, reported your experience on Discord, and even collected documents of feedbacks for us. But yeah, so that was a thank you from them. And so on the development side, there's been a lot of updates to the wallet. I think right now we're at 0.5.7. So I think, updated mine last night on my personal wallet that I'm looking, I've been kind of just testing. So that was pretty cool, and it's fast, very fast. Let me get back. So they have a healthy backlog of enhancements they plan to get through before the mainnet. Of course, in the addition to open up features like staking, messaging, Ledger Nano S connections, All right. Okay. So they got staking coming, messaging, Ledger Nano. Everybody want that. Our main goal is to ensure that the holders of EXRD will have a secure, usable home to hold, send and stake their XRD tokens after conversion. But the look and feel feedback is also useful as we look ahead to more enhancements after the mainnet launch. Our beta and validator node runners have been killers. Yeah, so it's actually been fun running the node. On a side note, we actually just did a yesterday. Demetrius, he drove down to the data center, and we updated some hardware. So we brought in 5 new servers, and he got everything hooked up, and yeah, so we're looking to we're looking forward to the mainnet. It's going to be nice. What else? And then we're updating the internet connection, adding an extra backup, and just securing our validator come the mainnet. But let's get back into it. All right, so we're pushing sequence of updates to the node roughly every 2 weeks. Yep, during the beta net to improve the beta net experience and test these fixes. One of the things I do want to applaud the team, because we've ran different test nets before, and we've ran mainnet as well. This has been the easiest experience on the beta net for us. It was so simple because the last network we were working on, we had a developer that was working with us, contract specifically for that one, and I mean, he predicted that the network would not be ready at least a year from when we started, and he was pretty much right. It was that much. It was just a lot of issues. The breakdown, the pretty much little to none instructions. Everything was mainly cloud-based that they were supporting. And, we wanted to run our own hardware, and there was pretty much no support. We had to figure things out ourselves. So we really do appreciate the team for doing this. It's it's been very, very simple to follow. Oh my goodness. Excuse me. So, but yeah, if you guys haven't got a chance to read this, definitely check this out. And then the last thing before I get off here is Cassandra Research Network. I'm telling you, guys and gals, there's so much excitement, and so much to look for the next year or so that's coming up for Radix, right? 2022 is going to be huge. I mean, it's huge for us now in 2021 because we finally get to see this day release, but 2022 is going to be major. In 2023, it's going to be insane because all the research that's being done on Cassandra is a year and ahead of what's of Radix right now. So what we can expect for this network to morph into is insane. And I'll give you guys a little glimpse of what Dan has been working on. Let's go ahead and do this real quick.
And so this has been served from, that's my kind of URL, my endpoint, Fusilier index HTML. Oh, there we go, my videos now. We've got a nice little Radix video that's been served from the website as well. And then 192.168.0.10, that's actually my desktop machine that I'm streaming from right now. So if we do that, then F5, we get exactly the same thing. Now, what's critical to remember here is that the picture is maybe in shard 1, the video is in shard 0, the web page is in shard 27. So this is like being served, distributed as a proper kind of distributed file system, which Cassandra can allow. These URLs are pieces of state. So if somebody else now tried to publish Fusilier index HTML, then it would fail for them because I've already done it. So these are like kind of unique bits of state. And we've got, we can do videos, we can serve that, and pictures, and all this kind of. But let's see if this cool thing number 1 is finished. Update these. So there we go. So I thought, well, instead of just websites, why not push some?
Really? Flex. Come on, Dan. That's an extra flex. That is a extra flex. Extra flex. Come on. Flappy Birds. Playing Flappy Birds on the Radix network. Come on. Try doing that on these other networks.
Some games, right? Let's see if I can get this thing to serve games from all these different shards.
This is crazy.
So, hopefully you can hear the sounds as well. Can you hear the sounds? I'm not very good at Flappy Bird actually. Game over. So then after I've got Flappy Bird up there, I thought, okay, that's pretty cool, but what about something like really, really hardcore? So I went and found another game, a really big game. Now, unfortunately, the music in this one doesn't seem to work, even though it's been uploaded. I'm not sure if there's a bug and everything. But this is like 50 meg, right? I don't even know how to play this game. I just thought it looked super cool, like an old kind of 80s arcade game thing. So if anyone ever knows how to play this, then I can choose different scenarios. This is all being served from like how do we use this X? How do I get him? There you go. This is all being served from the Cassandra sharded atomic composable super scalable magic layer.
Look how smooth that is. Look how smooth the gameplay is.
X. How do I get him? There you go. This is all being served from the Cassandra sharded atomic composable super scalable magic layer.
As you guys can see, it's not just DeFi. Even though it's DeFi specific, there's so much more that can be done and that will be done on Radix. It's insane. Like, I am just as excited watching it and sharing it with you guys as I was when I watched the full 45-minute video live stream that he did. So
around about the same time that made safe.
Let me stop this real quick. But yeah, so a lot of things have been, oh my goodness, he's been doing a lot. And also, actually, let me take this off. So beside not just that, but also I think also this week, the first community test without Dan was also conducted, right? Unfortunately, we weren't able to participate in that one, but the guys, they were able to start the Cassandra and pretty much just run the network, right? Run the testing by themselves without the help of Dan. Like that's sounds like nothing, but that's a pretty big deal. And I'm pretty sure within the next month or so, hopefully, I'm not sure, but I guess that's what I'm hoping for, right? In the next month or so, we can at least have the network going for a couple of days where we can jump in, jump out whenever we want, or run it the entire time while the network's up. I'm definitely looking forward to that because we have some servers that we want to throw at it. And yeah, so especially due to the time difference, sometimes when the network's being ran, testing being ran, we are not able to at the time due to different schedules and different time zone. But once the network's running 24/7, I mean, it's going to be exciting. We're going to throw a couple of servers on it just to help out. But yeah, this video has been extremely long. And again, I do apologize. I've been slacking, but it's just a lot of family stuff been going on. So I haven't had the chance to do this as I would like. Okay, so I guess I can't stop my share. Okay, but yeah, so be on the lookout. Definitely for sure this weekend I will go ahead and get back to making the weekly content and just talking about Radix and yeah, sharing. But yeah, let's go. That's pretty much it. And I'll see you guys next weekend. Bye.